This is part 4 of our magical journey. Make sure to watch part 1 if you haven't already. The air grew heavy with tension as the sorcerer continued to curse, his face twisted with anger. His eyes flashed with an eerie light, and his hands moved in strange patterns, weaving spells that crackled with dark energy. All around us, the trees began to shake violently, their roots tearing apart the earth. And then, as if summoned by the sorcerer's fury, the ground split open, releasing a torrent of muddy water that surged forward like a monstrous wave. It was the River of Shadows, unleashed. It crashed into the jungle, tearing it apart, destroying everything in its path. The animals panicked, screaming and scattering in all directions. Birds took flight, monkeys swung through the trees, and colorful butterflies fluttered desperately, trying to escape the destruction. But the river kept coming, relentless and unstoppable. The sorcerer cackled, enjoying the havoc he had caused. He loved the sight of nature's wrath, the feeling of power it gave him over the jungle he had once called home. But little did he know, the jungle had a heart, a spirit that could not be so easily vanquished. And we were going to protect it, no matter the cost. As the River of Shadows approached, I felt a surge of fear, but I pushed it down, focusing on what I had to do. Taking a deep breath, I looked at my friends, their faces grim, but determined. Zara, the wise and gentle elephant, stood firm, her tusks gleaming defiantly. By her side, Luna, the playful monkey, chattered reassuringly, trying to calm the frightened animals. And there was Finn, always ready with a joke to lighten the mood, even in the face of danger. I turned back to the river, realizing that we had to act fast. There was no time left. The first wave was almost upon us. As the wave crashed towards us, knocking me off my feet, I saw Zara step forward. She trumpeted loudly, shaking the ground with her immense strength, and with a Herculean effort, she raised huge rocks from the riverbed, creating a barrier against the wave. The rocks were so massive they resembled small mountains, and they formed a wall across the river, blocking its path. The wave crashed against the rocks, sending up a spray of water, but it could not pass. Zara let out a triumphant trumpet, exhaustion etched on her face. But her victory was short-lived. The sorcerer, enraged by the interruption, raised his staff, and with a venomous whisper, commanded the river to rise again. The water, as if obeying an ancient master, surged upwards, forming a towering wall that threatened to engulf us. Fear tightened my throat, but Zara, ever resolute, stood her ground, preparing for the next onslaught. Just when the wave seemed about to break through Zara's rocky barricade, a new sound echoed through the chaos, the melodic call of a waterfall. It was Luna. With a mischievous grin, she gestured for us to follow her. Leaping nimbly over the rocks, she led us deeper into the jungle, away from the river's destructive path. We found her waterfall hidden among the tangled vines and giant trees. It was a place of peace, a sanctuary from the turmoil of the River of Shadows. But our respite was brief. As we reached the waterfall, I felt its magic, the same magic that had healed me when I was injured. And suddenly, I understood what I had to do. This wasn't just a waterfall. It was a conduit of raw natural power, a living, breathing manifestation of the jungle's life force. With newfound determination, I turned to my friends. It was now or never. Calling out to them, I explained my plan. Together, we would use the waterfall's power to restore balance to the river. But to do this, we needed more than just magical power. We needed courage, the courage to face the sorcerer and his shadows head-on. Taking a deep breath, I stepped forward, my heart pounding in my chest. As I approached the edge of the waterfall, I could feel the power surging through me, connecting me to the very essence of the jungle. It was overwhelming, yet exhilarating. I knew I wasn't alone. Behind me, I heard Zara trumpet, Luna chatter encouragingly, and Finn's voice booming with support. Then, with a sudden rush of confidence, I leaped into the waterfall, plunging into its cool, refreshing waters. The moment I hit the water, I felt the magic course through my veins, filling me with energy and strength. It was wild, untamed, primal, just like the river itself. I could feel the magic urging me, guiding me, showing me how to control its flow. It was as if the waterfall itself was teaching me its secrets, sharing its power with me. Emerging from the water, I was transformed. My senses were sharper, my movements quicker, my spirit stronger. I could feel the magic thrumming beneath my skin, ready to be unleashed. I looked back at the waterfall, a surge of gratitude washing over me. Then turning to the river, I walked towards it, my steps firm, my chin held high. I didn't know what lay ahead, but I was no longer afraid. The river roared, a torrent of darkness and rage. But as I reached its edge, I didn't hesitate. Stepping into the current, I let the water envelop me, cradling me in its turbulent embrace. And in that moment, something extraordinary happened. The river, with all its untamed power, seemed to quieten around me. Its chaotic energy, which had been churning and twisting into a vortex of destruction, started to soothe, to heal. The water, once murky and filled with shadows, became crystal clear. Tiny fish, previously hidden, swam up to me, their scales shimmering in the light. I could feel the magic of the waterfall surging through me, balancing the river's chaotic energy, bringing harmony to its untamed power. The river, sensing the balance being restored, seemed to sigh, its roar subsiding into a gentle murmur. The chaotic swirls of dark magic dissipated, revealing a riverbed filled with sparkling gemstones and dancing butterflies. It was a river reborn, reflecting the lush greenery of the jungle round it, teeming with life instead of shadows. I closed my eyes, basking in the tranquility that had replaced the roar. The river was calm now, mirroring the peaceful sky above. It was a beautiful sight, a testament to the healing power of balance and harmony. As I stood there, the river flowed around my legs, carrying tiny fish and pebbles in its gentle current. It was a scene of serenity, a perfect moment of natural beauty. I knew then that the river, along with the rest of the jungle, was safe, at least for now. The sorcerer might still be out there, but I also knew that we had the power to protect this place, to defend it from any darkness that threatened to consume it. Turning around, I looked back at the jungle, at the animals who were cautiously returning to their homes, their eyes filled with wonder and gratitude. I smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over me. We had done it. Together, we had brought balance to the river of shadows. But our adventure was far from over. The sorcerer still lurked in the shadows, and we knew that we would have to face him eventually. But for now, we had restored peace to the jungle. And that, I knew, was a victory worth celebrating. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, we gathered by the river bank, the animals, the jungle folk, and us, the friends who had come together on this extraordinary journey. We shared stories of our adventures, of the challenges we had faced, and the triumphs we had won. Laughter echoed through the trees, mingling with the sounds of the now gentle river and the chirping of contented crickets. The night wore on, and as the stars twinkled overhead, I couldn't help but feel a sense of belonging here in this magical jungle. The campfire crackled merrily, casting dancing shadows on the surrounding trees. The scent of grilled forest fruits mingled with the earthy aroma of the river bank, creating a heady mix of scents that spoke of adventure and camaraderie. As the night deepened, the fire began to dwindle, its embers glowing faintly in the darkness. I snuggled closer to the warm furs, feeling a deep contentment settle over me. The day had been filled with challenges, but we had overcome them, proving that courage and friendship could conquer even the darkest of spells. And as I gazed up at the star-studded sky, I knew that no matter what lay ahead, we would face it together, ready for whatever new adventures or dangers awaited us in this enchanting jungle. For in this magical place, where rivers whispered secrets and trees reached for the stars, we have found more than just an adventure. We had found each other and the courage that resided within. Our journey, I knew, was far from over. The balance we had restored could easily be disrupted again. The shadow sorcerer still lurks somewhere in the jungle, waiting for his chance to strike. But for tonight, at least, we allowed ourselves a moment of peace, reveling in the hard-earned quiet that followed the storm. Tomorrow, we would face whatever challenges lay ahead. But for now, nestled in the heart of the whispering jungle, we slept, our dreams filled with magical waterfalls and the promise of a new day. Thank you for joining us on our magical journey. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to show your support. We've got more exciting stories waiting to be explored. So stay tuned and get ready for more enchanting tales. Until next time, keep believing in the magic within you and the power of friendship.